Hey everyone, we're going to be building the ultimate MDR class now that it's been buffed as part of Year 1, Season 1, Patch number 2 in XDefiant. So first things first, what's actually changed? Essentially, the base damage of the MDR has gone up from 17 to 19 in the optimal range, which is up to 23 meters as we see here in the advanced stats. So this is what it looks like with the base MDR with no attachments. About 40 milliseconds, 6 bullets a kill. Let's try a 10 meter target. About the same. 50 meter target. About the same. Let me reload. 25 meter target. We're definitely going to see a drop off because the maximum range is 23 meters without any attachments. And I also can't shoot for shit. So there you go. Definitely a harder target to hit at 25 meters. That was more or less optimal. We got it to about 48 milliseconds with 7 bullets to kill. Now let's dive into the attachments. This is what we're here for. Starting off with the muzzle. We will be tacking on the barrel extender. This does provide an increased short range and medium range, and this is what we're really interested in. What this will do, if you look at the advanced stats, will allow us to hit 19 damage per hit up to 25 meters out. So now if we go back to the long range target here, if I hit all my shots, I should be able to kill this target in 6 bullets as opposed to 7. Which is the case here at about 42 milliseconds. 6 bullets to kill. Now let's move on to the barrel. For the barrel, I would recommend attaching the heavy barrel. The heavy barrel attachment doesn't always provide a net positive. In fact, there's only a handful of weapons such as the M16, the Vector, the MP7 that truly do benefit from the heavy barrel, and now the MDR also falls under that category. Now with the barrel attachment, we will essentially be doing 20 damage per hit. Now what this means is that it will take down the number of shots that it takes to kill, and essentially our time to kill, from 6 shots to 5 shots, from 7 shots to 6 shots, and from 8 shots to 7 shots in each respective range. So it's a net benefit at all ranges, in fact. You do lose a bit of rate of fire, but it still ends up being a lower TTK as a result of it. So let's try with the heavy barrel. 37, let's try again. 35. So between 35 to 37 milliseconds, which is quite a bit faster than the 40 milliseconds or so that we were getting beforehand. And most importantly, 5 bullets to kill. And this will apply up until 25 meters. As you can see, still hitting 5 bullets to kill. It took about 37 milliseconds. 35 there. Now that we've built the MDR for range and damage, let's move on to the front rail. For the front rail, I personally like rocking the small vert on practically every weapon. To be honest with you, it seems to have more positives than negatives. The negatives being the hip fire accuracy being inaccurate. But oftentimes in XDefiant, you're not really hip firing. You're usually ADSing, so it's really not much of a loss if you think about it. And you do gain ADS walking speed, which is crucial, as well as ADS speed. And by default, I think the ADS speed for the MDR, if I'm not mistaken, is 250. It is. So you'll see a reduction here by adding the small vert. We've gone down to 237.5 for ADS speed. And we've increased our ADS walking speed here as well. Now for the next 2 attachment types, we have optics and magazine. I will go ahead and skip those. Honestly, I feel like the optic, the iron sight is more than adequate for the MDR. And the magazine, don't really need to increase the reload speed all that much. To be honest with you, I think the 2.1 seconds that it is by default is sufficient. And this will allow us to maximize the attachments as it pertains to rear grip and stock, which provides more benefit, in my opinion, than the optic and magazine. But if you did need to attach an optic or a magazine, then you will have to give up either the rear grip or the stock. I would probably go with sacrificing the rear grip if I had to choose between the two. Moving on, since we are not going with an optic and a magazine, we do have the ability to add a rear grip and a stock. For the rear grip, we'll be adding the trusty quick draw for the quicker sprint to shoot time, although at the end of the day, sprint to shoot time is not the most important stat, I would argue, just because of the fact that it's not often that you're sprinting, stopping, and shooting. You're often sprinting, jumping, sliding, then shooting. So it doesn't really come into effect, but nevertheless, it does reduce that, as well as ADS speed at the cost of some ADS stability, which for the most part, you should be able to handle. Before we move on to the stock, let's take a look at our stats so far. Once again, we have that small bump to ADS walking speed, and we also have a reduction to the sprint out time, which was previously 275 milliseconds due to the penalty that we took for the barrel extender. And now our ADS speed is even lower at 212.5 milliseconds. Last but not least, stock. We are going to go with the lightweight stock, which provides us a big boost in ADS walking speed, 20%, and a small boost of movement speed at 2.5%. It does come at the cost of some ADS stability and ADS speed. But once again, we are using the quick draw grip, which should essentially even out the whole ADS speed shenanigans, as well as the small vert, which will also provide us with a boost in ADS speed. So overall, what are we looking at here? We are looking at a beast of an MDR. Increased damage, increased range, slower rate of fire, but still faster time to kill and less shots to kill, more importantly, even against Phantom players. ADS movement speed through the roof, and a ADS speed reduction of 237.5 milliseconds, which is not huge by any means by the default, but already the ADS speed is rather solid with the MDR. And once again, if you did feel like you needed an optic or a magazine, I would say get rid of the quick draw grip and tack one on. I wouldn't recommend both, because at that point you will have to remove another one of your attachments. And I do feel from a damage and range perspective, this really is the optimal build, along with that ADS movement speed to make sure that you're a little bit more elusive in gun battles. So yeah, we just move around the firing range here. The weapon feels great. ADS movement speed is nice. Once again, the time to kill is crazy. Dare I say the MDR is actually very, very viable now. Hope you enjoyed this ultimate class breakdown of the MDR. If you do try this class, please let me know how it goes for you. And yeah, see you on the battlefield.